Right, so everything's dried overnight that I wanted to dry. So we're now going to have a look at our instruction manual, which is quite, I will admit it's a little bit awkward at times, but hey ho, we should be okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get the fuselage hearts together, settle them down, get them in, and we can continue from there. So take a few seconds just to line up everything and make sure it's all where it should go, and that looks quite nice. So we're going to take our extra thin and just run it along the joint, because this is going to be sanded down. I want to make sure that this joint has plenty of glue. I'm not sure how you picked that up there, but the Tamiya extra thin actually went round to the back of our nose and held it quite nicely. Okay, and on our rear piece, get the clamshell correct, ready for some nice metals to go in there. Again, using quite a lot of glue, I want to sand that and make that seam really nice. Just touching everything as we go. Start by holding it there, then another one. I don't want to put up too much pressure on the horizontal stabilizer parts, to be truthful with you, at the moment. So we'll put that in. Checking on to make sure everything is in line. And that's looking fairly good. We could do with another peg just there, just to hold it up, just to make sure that glue's tight. So we've got our fuselage together now, and she's looking quite nice. I'm quite happy with her at the moment. The clamshell seems to keep moving, but because we've got this part at the top, it's quite difficult to get it straight. There you go, that's there nicely. Right, so we'll put that to one side and we'll get some more parts ready. So when I've got them off the sprue, we'll come back and we'll do a bit more. Okay, right, it's been a couple of hours. I've got quite a few parts, as you could probably see, off the sprue and ready to go. Our fuselage is all now glued and ready to clean up, which is the next job. And then at least we can carry on then, we can get on. So all I've got is a sand and sponge, and all I'm doing is going over part of the nose to get rid of the seam. Now we're just doing it gently just to see what we've got, because a lot of it looks like it's just going to mould. The fit is so good, we don't need any filler by the looks of this, but of course we're being a little bit gentle. We don't make too much of a flat part, if you like. Using one of these sponges, it does allow you to put a little bit of pressure on, but also it allows you to go around circular parts and clean them up without too much issue. So there's a little bit at the top, we can sort that out. We'll go on round. What you're looking for, excuse me, is the line to almost disappear from what you're sanding, and making it nice and flat, so there's no seam line there to be seen, if you like. So I'm not putting any pressure on this, I'm just literally going around it, making it right. Okay, so we've got a little bit there we can feel. We'll sort that out. We'll sort this, all the seams out when we've got the wings on. We can go from there. Okay, now our rear clamshell, we'll just get rid of the sprue mark, and then we'll gently again go on over it with the sand and sponge to see what we've got. And I'm fairly happy with that. So we'll do how the hook goes again, and anywhere else where we might need to have a super flat surface. And again. Right, so that's lovely, and that's all nice. So what we'll do now, we'll get our, I'm not going to find out where it is, our filler. Just want to make sure that this is right. There it is. Supposed to have done that, it's blocked up. Okay. Just want to get, where's my pin vise? There we go. Some reason that blocked up, no idea why. That's it, we're out, we're ready. Okay, we don't want too much on here, so just dab it on nice and thin, and that'll go in nicely. That's fine, that's good. We've got the little piece at the top, so we'll now put that away, ready to dry. So that can go away for a little while. Put our lid tightly back on our filler this time. Okay, now the next part is our underneath. Nice piece, it's all been cleaned up, so that's looking good. And another part of our underwing section, which we need to drill a couple of holes out of. Now I'm going to put a smaller drill bit through first, in a pin vise. This is for our external tanks, missiles, dom bombs and what have you. So I'll just drill some thin small ones first, and we'll come in at a later date from the outside and make those holes bigger and clean them up. But we need to do this first, just to make sure it's nice and clean, so we can see where we're going, like so. Lovely job. Right, so that's that bit done. Now we go on to our other parts. Now, because we've got it in the powered down position, I believe they're radiator intakes on the rear need to be glued down. And that bit fits in there quite nicely. So we just run a little bit of glue on there. Get them orientated correctly. And slide her in like so. So that can be gluing for a few minutes. Now sprue, what part do we need? D20, which is a piece of combing that goes underneath to help. It'll create a lot of the undercarriage areas, so just be careful when you snip this off. I tend to snip off what I would class as softer parts, just like so. Just that off there like that. Wicked. And then it's just sand and sponge and clean up the areas. Like so. Just to make us all, show us all nice. We have the underneath piece of our fuselage, and we're checking where we got to go, and it fits onto those parts. Which way do we go? Doodly doo. Excuse my looking. So that fits in there like so. So they both fit quite nicely. Glue, run along everywhere for that side, so that side can have a peg to hold her for now. And there's another piece that just clips in here, so we'll glue her in just like that, being gentle. That was close, nearly broke it. Right, bit of glue on that bend, and that will glue nicely. So put our peg just there. This side we hold her in, a bit more glue around her to get her correct, and this bit pushes in nice and straight. That's in. Okay, and then another peg on our edge to hold it down nicely. Okay, so that's that part in there, although that bit is a little bit loose, so I'm not sure if we'll get in there with a peg, will we? No, that'll have to hold that. I haven't got a clamp long enough, so we'll give that a few seconds just to bond. There we go, and that's in there. Just making sure you've got glue in everywhere you need to have it. That can go away to dry for a few moments. Just like so. And we're having a look around to see what we can actually do. Okay, so our next part obviously will be after we've got our filler to dry, and then we can come back, we can rub that down, fill it up, and get it sorted, and we can rescribe those parts. So just out of interest at the moment, let's have a look at the fit of the canards. Is that the right side? Yeah, to be truthful, apart from a small gap at the top, that is actually looking very, very nice, and will fit there just perfect, to be honest with you. So quite happy with that, but we need to see how our bottom part fits on there first. So we'll leave those two to dry for a few minutes, and then we'll come back, sand that away. This is all, I'm happy with the clamshell, and we'll come back, we'll sort the rest of that out. Right, back again guys. I've sanded off the filler that we had on the nose, which is all it needed on that part of the nose. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rescribe the area on the nose. There's a small piece that goes across the nose, so I thought I'd just show you how we're going to do that. First of all, dyno tape. Now this stuff is great. You can use it a few times before the edges ruck up, but it works as a lovely straight edge for your pea cutter. Now all we're going to do is we're going to follow the line of the nose of the engraved panel round, just like so, and then we get the pea cutter. Now this is a fairly new one and a fairly sharp one. Getting to hold it nicely and just gently following the dyno tape across. No pressure on the blade at all, and all we've done is put the line back that we sanded out. So that's the top piece done nicely, and then our underneath exactly the same. Just like so. Lovely job. So that's in and that's in. Let's go and have a look at that nose. I'm not quite happy with that. Right, that's far better. Okay, now on the tail section, what we're going to do is just whip off the areas where we've sanded and the glue has formed the plastic, or glue, the glue has got into the plastic and has literally made almost a bridge, if you like. It's not so much where we sanded it, it's because the glue we used has sorted it. Okay, so that's that done. So that's ready to go. Right, our underside again is ready. So while you've been gone, I've made up the drop tanks, or the fuel tanks, and the iron bombs, which I'm going to use. I wasn't going to put any on it, but I'm going to now. Right, so we're back to our page. The rear fin is done with the rudder slightly canted, just to add a little bit of interest. Excuse me. Now our next part is the part we drew the holes in, or done the holes. We've got some bits just to clean up. We'll put the pea cutter away for now. I tend to look after that fairly well. It's not a cheap item. It is Tamiya, so it's always going to be a little bit more expensive. So all we're doing is taking off parts of the sprue bits just to clean it up, ready, and check our fit, which is pretty good. Seems to be a little edge along there. Take that off. have another look, and a fit, and the fit we're well happy with. So just checking everything, making sure we're right before we add glue, and it looks good to me. So we'll get our extra thin, touch and flow right the way around, being careful not to touch anything you've just glued, otherwise you sign up with a fingerprint. So we'll get on all the areas which need glue. Just like so. We'll get a peg. It's not enough on there. That's it. And all we'll do is get the peg. I think I'm going to peg that one. Right, that one's a bit tighter. And all we're going to do is try and find a way of holding that in. Hopefully the glue will hold it. This side's fine. This side seems to be warped a little. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to put a peg onto here just to hold it in place. Another peg throw round on this side. Again, that'll push it down and hold it in. Having a look at both of these sides. Now, if you get squidge glue or plastic that squidges out, just get your Tamar extra thin brush and wipe it over, and that will get rid of that. And there's nowhere we can actually hold that. By the looks of it, I've got a slightly different type of peg. Just wondering, we need to hold that kind of like that. That's better. So now that gives us a proper join there, proper join here, joins around the middle, brilliant. Right, so we'll leave that to sit for a little while. In the meantime, we can go back to our fuselage, and I have the top fin ready. Now I haven't test fitted it yet, I'm now doing it for the first time to have a look, and I don't think the fit is okay. It's nothing special, to be truthful, and what we're going to do, I think, is to glue one side in, then come back and glue the other side down once this glue has gone off, because at the moment there's quite a gap on the other side. So again, we're just going to run our extra thin down and on the ends, just to get that in there nicely, and then just hold that for a few seconds so it takes to that side. Clean our brush up, just take off the excess plastic that's floating around. There we go, and we'll let that set, and then we'll come back and we'll force. I don't know if you can see that, but we have a part there with we've got a good fit this side, as you can see, but this side is going to need forcing in, or gently, how can I put it, giving it a little bit of what do you call it in there, persuasion. Right, we now have our intake nozzles or intake fans. They are ready, just checking which way they go in. Okay, so they literally go in like that. So they're on, nicely seated. Just hold them for a few seconds and they're on. And I know you won't be able to see down there unless, oh you can, look, just about see the intakes. So that's that bit. And then I cleaned these up a little while ago, and these are the next parts to go in. So again, we're just checking exactly where they go. We want to make sure we're right. For the exhausts, not sure which way they go around. There's no way of handing them. They just literally fit in there like so. It's not a brilliant fit, to be honest. I'm not going to glue those in until I can test fit them. With our bottom on, I think, because otherwise I might struggle with that part. But there you go, that's that bit. So turn over the page, going down. While we're here, I've cleaned those parts up so they can be sat in. Got underneath some small parts can go into this piece, making sure that they all fit nicely. Bit awkward with the pegs, but hey ho. I just want to check the fit and make sure they go down where they should. They don't seem to go very nicely, but I think if I remember correctly they are slightly up anyway. So I'm going to put some glue on, hold that one in, and the other side just need a little bit of sand just to get them to sit nicely. It's a bit tight across there. Getting warm now. So we only take them one little piece off at a time, not going too mad, creating problems for ourselves. Right, that'll be in there nicely. Push it down. There you go. So this one ain't quite down properly, that is now. That's gone in there a treat. So that's that bit done. Oh hello, you can't even see it. I thought you could see that one, sorry. Went a bit too far away. So that's nice and in and drying. Our next part, which there is a decal to go on here, but I think I can get that in after, can I? Where does it actually go? Yeah, right at the end of the plane. I could slip that in a little while. So again, we're having a good look at what we're doing. So a little bit tight. There's a little bit of a haunch there. Slight angle issue, but not if we push it up. To be honest, that's not a bad fit. I'm quite impressed with that fit on that side. This one, same, and that is actually a better fit than the other side. That went straight in. So I need to glue that there. That's nice. And then we can just checking everything, making sure we're right. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so just touch and flow the glue as we always do. I'll take you out a little bit just in case I go off camera, and just hold that till it dries or till it starts to bind, like so. And at the bottom, turn that over so we can then glue right along the top. Now just hold that and we'll come back and we'll do the other side, because otherwise you're going to struggle to get them all done.